Hello, Desiree Dubonnet here. Today we're going to be doing a little short introduction to teach you basically how you're going to be able to do biofeedback with the Skio and the Indigo and be able to get into CPT coding and get paid third-party insurance payment. So we're going to be talking about a lot of little things. Now first off, if you are licensed, if you are on this list, if you are on that list, then you can directly do biofeedback and get paid by Medicare and many other insurance companies. Depending on the insurance that your person has, your patient, you might find that if they have a very, very good Cadillac insurance policy, that biofeedback will be paid freely. Biofeedback is a service that's being paid very well in America today. If you find out that your person is not on the Cadillac, then you could probably need some type of a referral. One of those people on that list could refer a patient to you for biofeedback training. Once you do the biofeedback training, you should get the patient to pay you. Then you give them the super bill that we will show you, and they go to the insurance company to get paid back from the insurance company. Keeping in mind that the insurance company usually pays about 80%, 85% of billing. They don't always like to pay everything. A couple of things you have to keep in mind before we get started. Number one, do you have a legal device? Do you have legal software? Because if you're backdating software, you're illegal and you're a criminal, and you're not going to get paid if you're doing something stupid. You have to have the legal 12.12.12 version of the software, and you'll need the biofeedback interface graphics known as the BIG. This is what you need to do to fully be able to display, be compliant, and have a true biofeedback system. Next thing you have to understand. Everybody you see, you should have a waiver signed. Here's a sample of the waiver. In this waiver, it clearly states that you are not doing medicine, that you are doing biofeedback. So that they know that they are not seeing a medical doctor and that the advice that you're giving them is within the constraints of wellness, stress reduction, biofeedback. That's an important thing. You should have a copy of that waiver on the wall. Next to that waiver, you should have a referral policy statement. Here's the referral policy statement. What this means is that you ask every patient that you have, do you have a doctor that you can work with, a family doctor? If that's the case, they already have a doctor, then you're going to want to write that doctor a letter and say, listen, I'm going to be seeing this patient for biofeedback. Are there any contraindications? I want to work together with you. If the patient says, I don't want you to send a letter, then you don't have to. Okay, but you at least ask. If the patient says no, they don't have a doctor, you should try to have at least some type of doctor, a friend or somebody that you could refer them to. You might even want to use me as an international doctor if you wish. But somehow or another you want to refer all of your people, at least wise, that's your policy, to try to refer all of your people into this. Now once you do this, you put a copy of the referral policy up on the wall as well. When you do this, take today's newspaper, hold it up in front of you with these two plaques on the wall, making that part of your office that you're going to be working with. Another smart thing to do is also have another plaque on the wall that says, no taping without permission. This is also a good idea. I don't mind anybody taping me, but I've had trouble when people did covert taping and then edited the taping and did some strange things. So to protect yourself, say no taping permitted. Now you're ready to start. You got legal software and you got everything legal, and we're going to start working with the Skio Indigo. Here we have our patient. We put the head harness on. The wire is on the right hand side. Red on the right wrist, yellow on the left wrist, blue on the right ankle, black on the left ankle. Where's the clasp? Okay, we go to the adductor 64. And up comes the system. Turn down the volume a little bit. System's on. Loading up software, diagnostics, therapeutics, and software. Everything's loaded. Password. You can set your own password. The default is still 0210. When you get started, if you set up the place where you are, if you feel that you are a citizen of the planet Earth, you can put this on here. And there's reasons for this that we will discuss later at another time. Down here at the Skio operations, you can set it to prefer such things as dentistry, sports medicine, fractals, geometry. And the simple means that that is the default. That's for operations. Skio themes. These will change pictures and the background pictures that you could use. You can have the developer if you like to see pictures of me. Now that you say OK, you go through. You go to demographics. We're going to load a previous patient. We've already talked about a lot of this, etc. In order for you to get insurance billing, you need to answer these questions. The SOC questions, these are important questions that we will ask of our patient in order for us to get the first CPT code billing. So keep in mind that the SOC is an important part because the number one part of the test that we are doing is the behavioral analysis of lifestyle problems and educative lifestyle. For the purpose of demonstration, we're going to use this name so we don't know which patient we're doing today, and we're going to go through. This top class athlete is the button that we use for sports programs. The default is that it should be off. We close. Patient's hooked up. Go to calibration. We do the fast track calibration now. And that does everything that we need it to. This will usually take about 30 to 60 seconds, depending on the patient. Takes more. 90. Can take up to 90 seconds, I'm told. You can see that beautiful picture of the developer behind on certain of the screens. And what the system is doing now is it's making basic measurements. You see how accurate the voltage that is. It's down to very, very deep degree of accuracy. And it's measuring basic voltage and amperage and resistance at different points. And it's measuring millions of bits of data coming in and out of the computer in a cybernetic loop every minute. As it now is calibrating the speed of reactivity of the patient and the basic body electric parameters of the bar hook, including the speed of reactivity, so that
Look into my eye.
Treat the patient and interface with the patient most effectively. measurements on with stimulation, measurements without stimulation. And we see that the calibration has been determined about 96% today, meaning we have a pretty good calibration link. If it falls below 85, calibration. Now we go through and we are going to do the basic test of the different remedies. This will take approximately 5 minutes. It's a little bit longer because we'll get this thing. Okay, the test is done now. As we see, the SCIO is the most researched energetic medicine device in all of the world. And we could close this. We don't like to do the big during the test. We want to try to get a clear test without any interference. So we want the patient still and relaxed, but not stiff. We've done the test now. We still recommend that you go through here to look at risk profiles so that you get an idea of the different trends. We load up all the different causes and everything, part of another lecture. And we can see that at the top of this list for this person is food poisoning. And he just ate some of it because lunch. At any rate, so now we can go to that food poisoning, click on virtual doctor. We like to do what the unconscious has recommended, and then we also like to clear out what the conscious has recommended. In other words, what type of symptoms. So if we go back to that list, but first we do the unconscious, because we are now addressing it, and the system is locking into food poisoning and trying to do a cybernetic loop to try to help the patients. Of whatever area we're going to do to clear it. The simplest toxicology, and it is the most medical. That's why I use it. See how this is red. That's a long super structure. I make that choice myself. I'm seeing what is possible with infectious agent. Clicking. Right of 90. Not bad, but we want a little bit more, so we click on clear out. Got a rectified of 94.
Excellent.
Since this demonstration is more about the biofeedback, we're going to close. We're going to consider that we've done what we need to do on this page. When we go back here on the risk profile, we need to click on this button to close in order to load up the auto zap. You can see the auto zaps are made with the X here. So just for a little bit of point of information, if you click on the top risk profile, upper red button, you won't get that list. You have to click on that close button. Okay, now we're going to go to a simple biofeedback program, such as for the big. We're going to load up the big now from here. Biofeedback interface graphics within 1212. And we can go back here and pick a type of therapy, such as time therapy down here. as we go in to this timed therapy, our patient has picked chronic fatigue. We need to enable the program. And we're going to set this up for as much time as you'd like, but normally to get an insurance billing, we have to do a minimum of 30 minutes. Now that we've done 30 minutes on the chronic fatigue, we're going to be able to turn that on and get it to work. That's our normal setting. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm only going to do 7 minutes. But normally we want to do a minimum of 30 minutes in order to get paid. But if you've done too much work and you only got 10 minutes to do, that's fine as well. Your entire visit needs to be a minimum of 45 minutes for you to get really paid for a good biofeedback session. 45 minutes to an hour. We click on the chronic fatigue. It's locked in. We're locked in. Program. Now we turn on the big to get a demonstration. Keep in mind, our system is working here, doing its quantum thing. When we start measure on the big, we now can see that there's energy going into the body here, and we see the reactions of the body here. We see the balances of the body here between the different quadrants of the arms and the legs and the head, and the patient is to try to keep these lines together. We can increase the sensitivity and the gain for the head in order to see more, as well as down here on the legs. Let's move that up where we can see that. On. I can go straight to VAR Hope. Now we go into VAR Hope. Here we got a measure. And as you can see, the system is now trying to balance the patient's VAR Hope in a biofeedback way. In a biofeedback way, we're looking at the energies of the body being stabilized in the voltage, amperage, resistance, hydration, oxidation, the basic body electric, and the proton pressure, all being done. And the patient can be watching this, and now we are doing classic biofeedback. Same period of time, I can also load up a movie for biofeedback, such as for enuresis. And the number one thing that's being done with biofeedback in America is for older patients who have trouble holding their urine. That's one of the number one things. There's a special bill for that I will show now that you can use for your CPT code. There's a mind relaxation with super binaural. This is for using headphones. The binaural readings over here for you to use headphones to the patient. We have breath control. Now I'm going to turn on a movie for the deep muscle relaxation. There's other movies you can
balance, balance, symmetry, right and left, the balance of the right and the balance of the left energy. This makes the symmetry. This makes for health and beauty. When the right and left are balanced, you have that structure of health. Feel the energy of the right and left balancing. Feel the symmetry building. Right and left becoming equal, becoming one, working as one together. Getting that focus, becoming in the zone, the balance of the left and the right. Balance, symmetry. Deeply, deeply relax. Feel the breath coming in like the wave of the ocean and going out, taking away all the impurities.
Classic biofeedback.
Tense the muscles of the forehead and then let them deeply relax.
Changed.
Spread that relaxation up over the scalp, down back through the neck, and deeply, deeply relax all of the neck muscles.
And inside the movies are little
relaxing all of the vertebrae, all of the cartilage, all the ligaments, all the tension.
Etc. Going to the list of movies, there's all different types of movies that we have here, and we're adding more and more and more and more. You'll be able to use different types of movies and all different types of things. Movies for breath control, etc., etc. You can have the auto focus, emphasis, work for different things while you're doing this. Okay, so now we've been able to do our biofeedback. We've shown the patient. We got this working on at 7 minutes, 30 minutes. This is 7 minutes just for demonstration. And we're doing all of that. We can show them the biofeedback. Close the barcode, let them watch this, the balance. There's other little games and balance intensity. But what we are doing now is we are doing classic biofeedback, where we're seeing bars and rods go up and down, and balancing being done as the person is now able to voluntarily see their system. Going to the barcode screen, and we want all of these things to go up from low to high. This is monitoring the body as we are, as now the system in quantum physics inside the class is trying to balance the body electric and rectify all the little things. Every little aberrant idea of brain flow, brain wave, heart rate, all the different factors of the body electric are being balanced automatically by the process. Now the system has stopped, as we can see. We see now that it stopped the output. The black box is over, it says therapy over. It's stopped sending its output and it stopped measuring now. We're back into class. We can go back here to this page. Therapy is over. We can click on additional therapy, the degenerations or the inflammations, whatever we wish. Now that we've done this, we've done our biofeedback, and let's say that we are close to the end of our 45-minute to an hour setting. Now we want to go to Super Bill. Where is it? Right. Go to this final report. Current examination report. Super bill with patient address. Got our basic idea of a super bill. CPT codes that we've done. We can edit these, add it in the price. I recommend that we try to, all of us throughout the world, stick with a price of about $100 to $150 for an hour of biofeedback training. Now, once you set a price at this, that doesn't mean you have to charge everybody. The next patient you see might be somebody who's poor, and you might want to give them a $50 discount, a $100 discount. You might want to see them for free. then you're giving them a $150 discount. But if you establish the price, the person will go home and say, oh, look, I got a $150 therapy, but I didn't pay anything because they gave me a discount. If you just do it for nothing, the person goes home and tells his friends, I got a therapy, how much it cost, I didn't pay anything, it was free. You've not established a price. We need to establish a price. Then we can all do discounts. We can do for less. But we need to, all of us, try to establish the value of what we're doing, the perceived value of the price of what we're doing. We need to have an ICD code. This is the diagnostic code. Doctors can put a different one in here. If you're licensed to diagnose, you can put a different number in here for a different disease. But stress can be done by biofeedback people. You're allowed to do stress reduction. We put in the patient's addresses and phone numbers and different details here. This is my address, my telephone number here. I think that number's changed, so don't try to call me from there. And you can get this, and then you can put a charge on this for a bill. And here we have our basic super bill. Here we've gone to the report preview. From the report preview now we can this. This is a more professional bill, as we can see. And there's a place in the report where you can choose your logo. That's my logo that I do. You can put in your information in the report program. And then you can print page from here. And you hand this to your patient, fill out the information, change it, put in the price, etc. Now you charge the patient for your therapy. They pay you. And then you give this super bill to the patient so that they can give it to their insurance company, then they can get paid back. If you're going to wait to get paid back, then you're going to probably take the hit on the 20% loss, 15 to 20% loss, and you're going to find out that certain insurance companies don't like to pay. Most insurance companies on the first billing only pay about 85%, meaning if you send in 100 bills, not too many of them will get paid. Then you can make an appeal. On the next appeal, usually it's about 50%, and you're allowed to make 3 appeals. And by the time on the third appeal, usually most people will get paid about 80% of the time you will get money. The insurance company has to recognize the value of what they're doing with you, and the insurance company has to recognize that there's a diagnostic process. The patient has to be diagnosed with stress and or whatever properly by licensed people. You can use stress, you need other help for that. Then you can go to that, send in the bill, get paid, but you'll find that if you're doing it directly, unless you're a provider from that insurance company, it will be difficult for you to get paid, more and more difficult in an ever-changing, in a greater, more and more paperwork society. But if you let the patient send this bill into their insurance company and you assist them with their appeals, you'll find out that they can get paid. So now we are going to be into the medical system. From this button up here in Report Access, let me close this again. From Report Access, when you go to Report Data, here you can choose from your icon, different icons if you wish. I have the butterfly. You can then choose the name of your office, your therapist name, your ID number. If you have one, your clinic address, your office telephone, margins, etc. You can make your own name cards from here too. You can do a name card designer. Once you've set this and you saved, then that data is saved into it. You will need to edit the things from this first quantum report. So now what we've seen is we've entered into the world of real biofeedback. Now we've got our registration 1989. In 1989, we had this full biofeedback system. When I came over here and developed it in 1996, it was more of a quantum system, quantum interactive system. And nobody really even challenged it. It wasn't until just a couple of years ago, about 3 years to be exact, where people said, no, we need to bring back that biofeedback. We need to have that. We developed the biofeedback interface graphics system, as you just saw, to really bring that back. So at the same time that the quantum system, the CLASP, is doing the maximum it can to help the patient balance the body electric, rectify all those signals, correct those aberrant functions, all that magic that has always been there. That still is uninterrupted. The biofeedback interface graphics just takes a couple of little bits of numbers and able to draw that picture. This also puts you back square, firmly compliant into the world of biofeedback. And you're going to be able to get some insurance billing. We're going to be able to tell you more and more about how to be a professional biofeedback therapist and work with patients in all the different ways, being compliant with the law. So this is Desiree Dubonnet telling you, welcome to the world of biofeedback.